This is the Dreame Aqua10 Ultra Track Complete, one of their premium models. And instead of spinning pads, it uses a moving bout system. So think of this like a miniature tank track. But here's the key bit, while this track moves, it's constantly being sprayed with fresh water. So you get fresh, clean water in and then dirty water out the whole time that it's in use. Dreame sent me this to test, but I'm not here to read you the spec sheet. I just want to know one thing. Does this work in a real home? So first, let me show you how this actually works. Most robot mops use spinning pads and they sit flat on the floor and spin, and once they're dirty they stay dirty. This is different. It's a continuous loop like a conveyor belt for your floor, and there are 24 nozzles inside that spray fresh water onto the belt as it moves. Then there's a built-in scraper which squeegees the dirty water off into a waste tank that's built into the robot vacuum, so the bit touching your floor is always clean. Well, that's the theory anyway, so let's put that to the test. So behind me I've put down some wet mud and dirt, and with some cheaper robot vacuum mops, this can create a brown streak that just follows the robot around for 10 feet or so. So watch what happens here. The floor behind the robot as it goes past is clean immediately. So the self-rinsing system is actually doing its job. And also watch this, the mop extends. The whole track assembly shifts sideways while it moves. So it's scrubbing right up against the skirting boards. But not only that, the brush extends outwards as well, so it reaches more dust and dirt than your average robot vacuum, getting into those corners that some cheaper vacuums can miss. The mopping system is the headline feature with this robot vacuum, but at this price point it needs to be more than just good at mopping. And there are two features here that caught my attention. One is ProLeap and the other one is VersaLift. ProLeap sounds like a marketing word, but here's what it actually means. If you've got an older house with chunky door thresholds, most robots will just stop and they just sit there spinning their wheels. This one lifts up the robot chassis up to 6 centimeters. So I put down a block of wood and instead of hitting it, it negotiates it easily. And this is the difference here between getting your whole house cleaned or coming home and finding that your robot is stuck in the hallway because it can't get past the threshold. And VersaLift attacks another problem about this getting under furniture. The LiDAR turret on top here is usually the highest point of any robot vacuum. And it's the exact reason why that these can't usually get under low sofas or low sideboards. On the Aqua10, the turret physically retracts into the body of the vacuum. I haven't got any low furniture to test it, so I've lowered the reclining seat on the sofa to demonstrate this. And robot vacuums are great for cleaning under sofas like this because they are cleaning up dirt that you'd otherwise never touch. With some robot vacuums, you can come home to find a shredded phone cable or a phone cable stuck in the robot or a sock dragged halfway across the room. And at Christmas, our cheap robot vacuum almost pulled over our Christmas tree. So obstacle avoidance is where budget robots can fall apart. The Aqua10 uses a 3D structured light sensor combined with AI recognition. So it's not just seeing obstacles, it's identifying them. So cables, shoes, socks, and even pet waste. So I've laid out a proper obstacle course here, so just watch how the robot reroutes around it. So it spotted all of them, it went around them cleanly, no shredded cables, no drag shoes. And I'll be honest, no robot gets this 100% right all of the time. And to get the best results with cleaning your floors, it is best to clear them first. And low profile cables and black objects, particularly in low light, are a challenge for most robot vacuums. In normal daylight conditions though, this robot vacuum has been much better than others I've tested. There's one piece of furniture that every robot up until now has struggled with, and that's the legs on this chair. But the Aqua10 moves around them just fine with no problems and no rescuing. In terms of vacuuming, this robot vacuum has 25,000 pascals of suction. And that's a big number, but to put it into context, our first robot vacuum had 4,000. But these figures only matter if the robot vacuum doesn't get clogged up. So upstairs we've got mainly carpet, and I've spread a load of long hair across our bedroom floor. And the Aqua10 uses a dual brush system with 2 rollers spinning against each other. So the theory is they push hair towards the middle and into the bin, rather than wrapping it around the brush. And after these tests, the rollers were clean, and that matters enormously if you've got pets and long hair. And this is the first robot vacuum where I haven't had to detangle the brushes at least once a week. And also on carpets as well, not only does this vacuum give a great cleaning job, it also leaves the best finish that I've seen so far. So many of the other vacuums I've tested, they leave loads of circle prints all over the carpet, but this leaves a nice tracked finish. A quick note here on the complete part of this robot's name, because usually you buy a robot and you need to immediately spend extras on spares. This kit comes loaded with extra brushes, additional rollers, more filters, vacuum bags, as well as cleaning solution and pet deodorizer. So you're sorted for months without having to buy any extra parts. And this is worth taking into consideration when you look at the price tag. So the robot starts at the dock and then it fills the internal tank on the robot itself with clean water from the base station. And it also adds the floor cleaning solution and the pet solution. And it then goes out and cleans. Every time it docks, two things happen. First, it empties the dustbin automatically.
Start auto empty.
Second, and this is important, it empties the dirty water and washes the mop track with hot water. And then it dries it with hot air.
Start cleaning mop pads.
So it's not just self-emptying, it's also self-sanitizing. And this means you're not going to lift up your robot vacuum in a couple of weeks' time and find a moldy mop roller. This does use quite a lot of water, and after only 2 cleans, so around about 2 hours of mopping, I had to replace the clean water in the clean water tank in the base station. And of course this is still a lot less water than you'd use if you were traditionally mopping your kitchen with an ordinary mop. This will be dependent on how big your floor area is and how many times that you want to clean per week. And also in the app you can reduce the amount of water that your robot mop uses. And also, as an aside here, the base station does get really dirty underneath here. There's no removable section to make it easily washable, so every now and then you just have to wipe it with a cloth. Most robot vacuums clean while you're out and about and you've left the house, but this one also watches the house too. It has a built-in camera, and using the app you can access it from anywhere. And there's also a Find My Pet feature as well, so you can check in on your pet while you're out.
Find your pet successfully. Start returning to charge.
And these video features double up as a security camera when you're away. So if you just want to keep an eye on your house and what's going on, then you can do that too. As with most of these robots, they also work with Alexa. But what I actually want to show you is this. Okay, Dreamy.
I'm here.
Start cleaning.
Okay, start cleaning.
You can just talk directly to the robot, and you can also send it to a specific room as well. Okay, Dreamy.
I'm here.
Clean the kitchen.
Okay, start to clean the kitchen.
And this is what smart tech is supposed to feel like, frictionless. So here's my honest take on this robot vacuum. The roller conveyor belt system really works. The ProLeap and the VersaLift, they're not just gimmicks. They solve real problems in a real house. And obstacle avoidance is better than most, and we haven't had to rescue this once. And it's the first robot with a self-cleaning detangling system that we haven't had to detangle once after a single run. The carpet finish on this is excellent, but rugs and mats, I'd say it's about 90% there. And I've found that even though this does perform better on rugs than a lot of vacuums I've tested, it's not a dreamy problem. I think it's just generally a robot vacuum issue that rugs and mats, they do have difficulty with. The weak spot with this is price. That's a serious investment. But if you've got mostly hard floors, you've got long hair or pets, and you're just done with faffing around with cheaper robot vacuums or manually cleaning yourself, then this is probably one of the best all-in-one robot vacuums that you can buy right now. But if you've got mainly carpets and you're not mopping regularly anyway, then save your money because this probably isn't for you. I've put a link below if you want more details. Let me know in the comments if you're still searching for the perfect robot vacuum, and you can watch this video next so you can avoid some of the mistakes that I made when I first started looking.